In this video, I'm going to show you how to paint Secret Weapon's 25mm town square base. And as always, in each of my Secret Weapon videos, I'm going to show you an interesting or unique way on how to paint it. To start off, we're going to use white scar. You'll want to thin this down. In this one, I used about 3 drops of white scar to 1 drop of Lahmian Medium. And what you're going to want to do is just coat the top. Don't get down in the crevices. You just want to essentially dry brush it on, but you want to cover everything. Just try not to get it down inside the crevices. Now, when you're done with white scar, it's important to note here that you should not wait until the white scar is completely dry. You immediately want to move on to Eshin Gray. And Eshin Gray will use the same thinning as the white scar. Every 3 drops of Eshin Gray, 1 drop of Lahmian Medium. And you want to touch the middles of all the stones. Don't go all the way to the edge of each stone. Just lightly paint in. You don't have to make it solid. The less solid you make the Eshin Gray, the better the look of weathering you'll get when it's done. Use small swirling motions as you paint to work in the white scar into the Eshin Gray and give it a marbleized look. Right. So, anyway, let's use Agrex Earthshade just like you did with the white scar. Cover the tops of all the stones. Try not to get too much down into the crevices. We're going to do another layer of this. And once it's dry, go ahead and add another layer of Agrex Earthshade. Again, try not to get too much down into the cracks and crevices. Just coat the top. This next part is going to take a very steady hand and a very small brush. I'm using a 40-aught or a 40/0 brush. You're going to use Temple Guard Blue, and it's going to be a 5-to-1 mixture of Lahmian Medium versus Temple Guard Blue. So you're going to need 5 drops of Lahmian Medium for every 1 drop of Temple Guard Blue. And you want to get this into the crevices only, in between the cracks, and right along the very edge of the rocks, not on top. And when it's dry, you want to do it all over again. Go back between the cracks and crevices, add another thin layer of Temple Guard Blue, and wait for it to dry. we're going back to white scar and we're going to do an edge highlight. Add an extra drop, 2, maybe 3 of Lahmian Medium to thin it down even further. And you're going to need to do a build-up, because if this edge highlight is too harsh, it won't look natural. It'll look neon, and we don't want a neon look. We want it to actually look like it's glowing and have soft edges. So this very edge of these bricks, you're gonna have to go over them a couple of times. The stones down below, some of the edges are sloped. They slope downward into the crevices. Those slopes, you want to feather the white down into it. Now that the white is dried on the edges, we're going to go back to our Temple Guard blue mixture that we did, and we're going to add 2 to 3 more drops of Lahmian Medium to it and thin it down even more to make it a lighter glaze. This glaze is going to go directly over top of the white. We need to feather it out to where the white is almost non-existent. So you want to get it down into the crevices as well with this mixture. We've made it so light and so translucent that it will give a nice buildup. So get it down into the cracks as well. Go ahead and blob it. That's all right. If you blob it too far onto the brick, that's even better. Just drag the excess toward the crevice. That way, when the glaze dries, when this light blue glaze dries on the rock, it'll actually look like the light is fading out on the edges. It is a very good look. Next up, we need to bring all this together. We need it to look more natural, so what we're going to do is we're going to use Nuin Oil. And what you're going to do is you're going to use a 5-to-1 mix of Nuin Oil. 1 drop of Nuin Oil, 5 drops of Lahmian Medium. And you're going to put this on heavy. What it's going to do is it's not going to completely blacken stuff out, but it will give the light transitioning the look that we want. So go ahead and put it on thick, fill up the cracks and crevices. Just fill them up. And it's looking really good the way that it sits right now, but we can do a little bit better. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that blue glaze that we made with the Temple Guard blue, and we're going to add a couple more drops of Lahmian Medium to it, and we're going to go back over the crevices and the edges. Very lightly add another coat. Now that that's dry, we're going to go ahead and add a slight touch to the stonework. you'll notice in the little crease along the side, it looks like there's some grass or moss in there. And what we're going to use is Lahmian undergrowth, and we're going to dab it on there. If you don't have Lahmian undergrowth, you can use any dark green color, and just lightly dab it onto that little pile right there in that corner. Go ahead and remove any excess. If you put too much on your brush, just remove it, or get you a little dollop on there, and once it's on there, go ahead and wipe everything else off the brush and kind of push it around. You don't need a whole lot. It is a texture paint, and the little spot already is textured, so texture paint is not really necessary, but it looks good. And for the final touch, to finish this off, we're going to do Mechanicus Standard Gray around the entire outside edge. Alright, and this video is very nearly complete here. Hit like and subscribe. I'm going to do the rest of the secret weapon bases. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.